So let's go ahead and get started in seated position on our mat. And make sure you have some water and a block or a pillow. And let's come to our breath. Sitting in easy seat or full or half lotus, whatever is more comfortable for you. Just allowing the body to rest here. Noticing any sticky places that you might have in your body as you begin to come to the breath and to the full awareness of the moment. Letting the body settle down with the breath, so no fidgeting or moving, and just really dropping into this sacred space of the present moment in our practice. Noticing the breath, becoming more and more aware with each inhale and each exhale. Eyes can be closed or just cast your gaze downward. When you do that, keep your spine really long still. As we sit in the quiet, notice the thoughts with awareness and without judgment. What's popping into the mind as we sit in the quiet with the breath? Allow the thoughts to come and then let them go, practicing this present mindedness here while we're seated without movement. And continuing to bring yourself back to the breath. Adding in just a little bit of sway, a little side to side. Maybe taking this all the way down for the dancing lion. Just noticing the body, feeling the back, the shoulders, the hips, just kind of moving around, maybe rolling the shoulders, just feeling what feels stuck or sticky. And if you find any place that feels like that, imagine the breath just going right to that spot. And let's begin with some seated cat and cow. Sitting up really tall and pulling back. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, sit up tall. And exhale, round and curl. Take a few more rounds, really making that connection between breath and body right now. Staying fully present in the moment with the body and the breath. On the next inhale, sweep the arms to the sky and take a twist towards the right. Sit up really tall. On the inhale, we extend the spine. On the exhale, we twist. Gentle the first time here, but really elongating through the spine for the twist. Beautiful. Remember, this is a slow stretch flow class today. If you want to add more, feel free to add more. And if you'd like to back out of some of it, back out. Inhale, reach again, look up this time. And then exhale, twist to the left, sit up really tall using that back arm as a second spine. Remember, inhale lengthens us and the exhale twists. Breathe. Every inhale, lengthen a little higher, maybe even come up on those fingertips behind you. And every exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. Beautiful. And we come back up again for the inhale. This time, interlace the fingers, interlace them and turn them inside out so the hands, palms are facing the sky. And let's just lean over towards the right for a side bend. If it doesn't feel right to keep the hands clasped, you can take the right hand down. As long as you keep plugging that left hip down, finding more space there. And again, spinning towards the sky, the chest open, side bend. Back to center. Release the hands behind your head, shoulders and elbows open. Let your head fall back into a little mini back bend here. So really extending first, lengthening the spine before we fall back into the back bend. Beautiful. And then reach the hands up again, interlace, inside out, turn towards the sky with your face, gaze up and off to the left side, perhaps even taking the left hand down, floating it into that side bend. Beautiful. Coming back through center this time, light up your mat, hands down, on hands and knees, tabletop position, tuck your toes behind you, and let's find some cat-cow here, letting the belly drop and the tail come up. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, tuck the toes down, round and curl, cat stretch spine. Big, big rainbow spine here, pressing away. And at your pace now, inhaling and exhaling, cat-cow. Once again, making that connection, breath to body, body to breath. Inviting you here to make any movements that might feel right. So I'm going to take a little wrist stretch, tucking my fingers towards my knees, leaning back a little bit into my wrists. And then if you'd like, you can take Dancing Lion, which is coming around in circles. Again, noticing what feels good and what is sticky in the body. But again, yogi's choice here, as always. So continue that movement, whatever it is. And then take your knees a little bit wider than they were and tuck your toes behind you. If you have the block, maybe bring it over now or the pillow. Keep the left hand down in the center, right under your face, and the right hand on the hip for a twist. Stay right there. Maybe come up on the fingertips, even on the block, to find more space for the twist. And leave the hand on your hip so you really concentrate on the opening here of the chest. Take a few more breaths and then reach the hand up to the sky and take some circles. Forward a few times. And then reverse. And back. Really opening up here. Beautiful. Reach up, up, up. Big, big, big stretch. Now thread the needle underneath and through. If you have the block, move it out of the way. Left hand down, right hand threads underneath, and we find this threading the needle twist. From here, if you want, you can lift up that left leg. Some people do that for balance. Some people just stay right here. And others wrap their arm around for yet another opening of the left shoulder. So choices always in life. You want to choose wisely. If you are lifting up this leg, make sure you don't mash your head into the earth. Using the core to keep you right where you are. Beautiful. We unwind and re-reach the right hand up to the sky. Both hands come down, a couple cat-cows again. Really opening the chest, letting the belly open, and then exhale, round and curl. And let's just keep that movement going again. Beautiful. Option always, if you want to level this up, you can add push-ups or half push-ups here, but you don't have to. If you do have the block or pillow, move it to the center, the right hand stays down. Maybe if on the fingertips, the left hand comes to hit for the twist. Rise up so you can really open up here for the twist. Beautiful. Look up over the shoulder towards the sky and keep the twist coming from the midsection. Stacking shoulders if you can. more breaths here in this twist, maybe extending and twisting a little more. And then those big circles with the arms in both directions, letting that shoulder open, finding mobility there. Then we reach up to the sky, thread the needle underneath and through, move the block out of the way, and finding whatever feels right here for you in this opposite side twist. Perhaps just breathing through it, maybe you lift the leg. Wherever you are, try not to put too much pressure in the head. Twist should feel real good. On the next inhale, we open up completely, reach to the sky again. And both hands come down, tuck your toes. Lift just your knees for 2 inches off the ground, really feeling the core engage here. Breathe. And then turbo facing dog, press back. Bending into one and then the other, walking the dog nice and slow here on the mat. We don't want to go too fast. We just want to press away, chest to thighs, and just keep walking out the feet. Nice. Come up on all 10 tiptoes and let the heels both drop to the right and press back. You're going to feel this in the outside of the left leg. Keep pressing back as the heels both face to the right. And the breath. Back up on the toes. Both heels to the left. Press back. Feel that in the outside edge of the right leg. Beautiful. And up on tiptoes again. Look to your hands and go ahead and walk to the top of your mat. And roll up to standing nice and slow, nice and easy. Or you can swan dive. And when you get there, maybe take a little bit of a back bend. Beautiful. Hands down at heart center. Sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, lengthen, look out. Flat back. Exhale, walk back to plank. Either take vinyasa, push-ups, or just press back to down dog or child's pose. So yogis, make a choice here. What works for you? Take it, and then meet me in downward facing dog. Upside down V, tail towards the sky, toes are pigeon-toed slightly in, heels are reaching out. Trying to touch the earth with the heels, but if it doesn't happen, bend the knees. Or maybe even shorten the down dog. Walk the hands back a handprint just to make it more accessible to you. Look to your hands, walk, step, maybe jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen hands to shins or thighs, halfway, look out. Exhale, melt and fold. And then inhale, rise again with the little back bend. And hands to heart center. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, fold flat back, use the core, go down slow, beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, look out. Walk back to plank pose and hold plank. Right hand moves to center. Perhaps the right knee comes down. If not, we side plank on the right hand. Left hand can reach to sky, stay at hip or reach to me. And we breathe, feeling the core. Strength. Breathe. Plank again, press back, downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa between sides. Or if you need a rest, optional child's pose. We come forward on the left side. Left hand moves to center. Drop the knee or don't. Side plank. I'll do the variation on the left side. Hand can be up or at the hip. Or up and over. Or wrapped with the breath. Remember, you can have a knee down or not. You can look down or look up wherever the neck feels better. Mine feels better looking down. Beautiful with the breath and the strength, and feel the core come back to plank. Then let's all press back into child's pose. Knees are wide, touch your toes together, hips on the heels, third eye, forehead on the ground, hands reach to the top of your mat or reach behind you. Resting in child's pose anytime you need a little bit of a break. While we're resting in child's pose, this might be an opportunity for you to take an inversion or for you to take some push-ups. So this is your chance to kind of let it be your own practice. Anytime you want to add in a posture or take one away, please feel free to do that. So yogis, do your thing, whether it's vinyasas, push-ups, or maybe an inversion. We'll meet in downward facing dog. We'll count it out for like a 5 or 10 count, making sure everybody gets to do whatever it is that they want to do. And then let's meet back in the downward facing dog. This time the left foot moves to center and the right leg reaches for the sky. We open hip on hip and elevate up on the tiptoe, making space and opening and closing that right leg. If you flip the dog, flip it now. And if not, we're just going to step that right foot right in between the hands. If it doesn't make it, you're going to help it get there. Beautiful. We're up on the back tiptoes. We're in a lunge, and now we're just going to reach up towards the sky using the core and the strength of your legs to find crescent lunge. Beautiful. Give me a little back bend here. Sink a little bit deeper into that front knee lunge. And let's take hands to heart center. Lean forward and lift the back leg up first. Balancing posture, warrior 3. Step back, crescent lunge, high lunge. Both hands tap to the earth. And we step back, plank. Lower down to vinyasa, down dog or child's pose, up dog or cobra, and exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a few breaths here, or take more vinyasas or push-ups depending on what you're doing today. The right foot moves to center, left leg lifts to sky, elevate on the tiptoe, and open and close, find space. Bring knee to nose, footsteps in between the hands, and we rise up, crescent lunge, high lunge. With the breath, sink a little bit deeper, hands come to heart center, finding stability in the front leg, and then slowly lean forward, transferring the weight, and then lifting up the back leg for the warrior 3 balance. Try to turn the toes down in the back. Energize both legs. A little up dog in the chest. And then slide back, warrior 1. Not warrior 1, sorry, crescent lunge. And then the hands tap again. We step back to plank. Lower down, add push-ups. Cobra or up dog, exhale back to downward facing dog. Walking your hands back towards your feet, hanging in a forward fold, ragdoll heavy. Bend the knees here. We're working towards a peak pose of splits today, so really letting the back body melt open here, shaking the head yes or no, and really feeling the back of the legs open. Keep the knees as bent as you need to. Maybe slide the hands under the feet, or any other variation you like in forward fold. Working the hips towards the sky and the chest towards the thighs. And then then we'll slowly inhale, come up halfway so we don't get dizzy. And then all the way up for a back bend supported. Take your hands, fingertips pointing down, and pull yourself back as you press your hips forward. You can even tuck your chin here and breathe. Slow flow with stretch. Hold on if you'd like to. We're coming into our first tree pose. The right toes down, the right knee open, the right hip open. This could be enough. Or the foot underneath the knee or above the knee or in the inner thigh or even a half lotus if you're feeling open for that. Hold on if you need to and it's appropriate. If not, hands come to heart center first. Find balance. Our gazing point is at the top of our yoga mat. That's our drishti. Our hips are open, not turned. And now let's go ahead and reach the arms behind you. Maybe catch even the hands or the elbows. If you fall over, hold on. So let the chest and the heart shine open in the tree pose here. When it's appropriate to step down, feet hip distance apart, make some hip circles as we wait to do the other side. Stay, like I said, as long as it's appropriate for you. And once you step down, take some circles in the hips in both directions. Maybe windshield wiper the arms, giving yourself a nice little kidney tap. Again, yogi's choice. Preparing for tree on the other side. Really standing leg, that right leg is strong, rooted into the earth. Hold on if you'd like. Find your variation, whatever it is, of your tree. And again, try not to collapse into the hips. Keep them square and open, hands to heart center first. Eye gaze at the top of your mat, lots of energy in your belly. If you fall over, come out, you just come back. Once again, reach behind, whatever is appropriate, opening up the chest and the heart. Stay as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, step down, some hip circles, do whatever feels right. I like figure eights too. They call this flossing, I think, or they used to. All right. Back of your mat. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Walk out to plank. Lower down, upward face, exhale, downward face. Right foot steps through, cartwheel open, warrior two. 3 pumping warriors, big strong pumping warriors. Warrior two, the front leg's bent. Maybe find more space between the legs, pressing through the outside edge of the back foot. Flip the palm and reach up. Reaching to the back of your mat, but sinking into that front knee lunge, opening up the side body, breathe. Arms just slide back to warrior two. Straightening out the front leg, stepping in one footprint, finding your block or pillow if you use one, and I do. Right behind the right foot. Try not to dump the weight into the hand. And if you're not using a block, you can float or put the hand on a thigh or the shin, just not the knee. We're opening up here, so the shoulders are stacked and the hips are stacked. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're just kind of leaning back against it. That back hand can be on the hip, to the sky, racked, or towards me. You can also take a little bit extra here if you want to work your core and hover. Maybe pulse. And then exalt, reach back. Second triangle or half moon. I'm choosing half moon today. Taking my block with me forward and a little bit off to the right, lifting the back leg up, opening up hip on hip, shoulder on shoulder, hand to hip or sky, half moon or second triangle. We meet back with the back leg down, hands to hips, dial the front toes in. Inhale, lift up, open heart. Exhale, fold forward halfway first, and then all the way down. Forward fold over wide legs, maybe widen the stance. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, walk your hands back through your legs. Bend the knees here as much as you need to. If you're ready and you want to take a firefly pose, if that's in your practice, go ahead and take it. If not, we're just opening the back body, maybe even taking some Shavasana, some runner's lunge to the side, because it just feels good to kind of move the body like that. Again, headstand here is appropriate if it's in your practice. And then we'll turn to the front of your mat. Take the back knee to drop down into this runner's lunge with the back knee down. Working on the hip flexor here. So we're really straightening out that back leg, working on that hip flexor. But leaning right into that front leg. Don't let the knee go past the ankle. If it is, scoot that front leg open a little more. So we're hanging out in here into this hip flexor. And we're going to rock back and forth slow. So here's our rock back, lifting this front leg straight and leaning back into the back leg. If this bothers your knee in any way, you can pat it or put a pillow under it. And we're leaning back into this half split. Now curl the toes forward towards you and look out past your mat as you feel the back of the right leg open nice and slow and easy. Couple breaths here before we rock forward again. This time, curl your toes, lift the knee up into a deep runner's lunge, letting the hips drop down. If you'd like, you can walk your leg out to the side for more of a lizard stretch here. If that feels good, you can open that back hip and the front hip as well. Rocking back to another half split on the knee. If you did move the foot out, move it back to center and come back into that half split. Curl the toes up, look past your mat, and lean back into that. Bring the chest as low as you can onto that thigh and really light up that back leg here. One more time forward. Stay here, lizard lunge, or maybe attempt a full split. You can take a block underneath your front leg to support yourself in the front split. Or just keep it the way you had it. Another option is to put a block on either side of your leg and then support your body like that. I don't have one here to show you. So we're in the split as long as it feels appropriate. If it's too much, you can take this into a nice easy half split. This time kind of sit back on your foot and then fold in. So this is appropriate. The full split's appropriate. Whatever feels good for you is what you'd like to take. Stay with whatever you're with. We're going to finish with a standing split, standing on the right leg. So one last little bit of split here, and you could take that back leg up to L or higher, or even pop up into handstand. So we transfer the weight back into the front foot, which is the right. Fingertips in line with the toes, and then lift up the back leg. However high it's appropriate, maybe even taking one or both hands around that right leg for balancing standing splits. And both feet meet down at the mat, forward fold, inhale, lengthen, halfway look out. And let's take vinyasa or meet me in down dog. Walk, step, jump, or float to the back of your mat, lower down. Upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, press back, downward face. Optional second vinyasa here, cleaning the slate between sides. It was a long series on the right side, so go ahead and take another vinyasa, clean it all out. Beautiful. Extra push-ups, go for it, Debbie work. And then warrior two, left side, step through, rise up. Pump warrior 3 times, reach and pump for 1, 2, and 3. Flip your front palm and release to exalted warrior. And back, straighten the front leg, step the foot in for Trikonasana, triangle pose on the left side. Opening the chest, the heart, hips, and shoulders. Option to hold the body weight. And we exalt, triangle. Second round of triangle or half moon. See if you can try to float the half moon, or maybe even take a bind for the half moon. So yogi's choice once again, beautiful strength and awareness in the body. You can also be in side angle or the second triangle. Remember, yogis, it's your choice. And then we'll come back, hands to hips, turn both feet inward. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hands behind you this time, opening the chest and the heart. Bend the knees as much as you need to as you come forward into forward fold, letting those arms come up and over as much as it feels appropriate. Option here to take a squat if this is not working for you. You can take squat here. You can also practice your crow pose here, or you can just stay in the wide stance fold. So I'm just giving you some choices. If it's not feeling good to have the arms wrapped up and over, you can just walk them out to hammock pose. Another option is to take some more push-ups here. Some wide plank push-ups. I have lots of stuff in my way here. Or even just hold in wide planks. Turning towards the front of our mat, into low lunge. Take the back knee down and sink into that hip flexor on the left side. You're going to note, on the right side, you're going to notice a difference between the two sides. Generally speaking, it's not always the same. So we're sinking in here with that back knee down and making sure the front knee doesn't go past the front foot, so widen that stance out. Preparing for splits on the left side. You can let the head fall down here and sink a little deeper into that. Rock back half split. Curl the toes up, look out past the mat, bring the chest as low as you can. Beautiful. So this preparation for the full posture, the full split, we may not get there, and that's okay. Remembering this is a practice, not a destination, not a race, not a PR. We're just practicing yoga. Noticing our breath as we move, come forward again into the breath. This time, toes down, knee up, drop the hips. Option to take a lizard lunge, walking the left leg out and really feeling that hip flexor open in the back. Letting back knee drop again, walk the foot back to center if you'd moved it, and then another half split, sitting back into that back leg. When you come forward this time, either another lunge in or try for that full split. And breathe. Stay as long as it's comfortable. Breathe through whatever you find. Even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, breathe through it. If it's painful, come out of it. I'm actually going to come out and take a half split here. My left side is kind of not doing well lately. And so here we are. Staying with whatever makes sense for your body and knowing that. So just right there, that's awareness and honoring ourselves. Just knowing what we need and listening and doing. Not just in yoga, but in our lives. We'll exit this with a standing split or standing L. Again, I told you my left side doesn't cooperate as much as my right, so I'm going to use a block and just a nice easy standing L here. You can take the full standing split or even the handstand or the balancing standing split, your choice. And then we're going to meet when you're ready, and I'm not rushing you, I'm just letting you know where to go into a low squat at the top of your mat. If you didn't take the crow pose before and you want one now, it's appropriate. And if you don't, we're going to have a seat on our bottom, knees out, feet together. Bound angle, seated. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lift the chin and lean forward, pressing the knees open for a little bit of a hip opener here before we finish up our practice. We're going to head to our backs, taking a little bit of ab work, maybe some bridge and wheel, some back bending, some spinal twist, shoulder stand, plow, whatever's working for you and whatever feels right. I'm inviting you to take the next 3 minutes to finish up your practice, whatever postures that you'd like to finish with. And then also inviting you to stay as long as you'd like to stay once we do find Shavasana. The class ends at 10:45, but you're welcome to stay since you're in your home as long as you'd like, as far as your Shavasana or even adding in some more of the flow. So go ahead and lay down on your back, finding your finishing postures for the next about 3 minutes. about another minute or so, yogis, to finish up whatever it is you're finishing up before we head down into Shavasana, into our final posture. Inviting you to lay on your back or your side, or if you're more comfortable seated, settling in for this time of complete relaxation. We've moved our body, we've done our stretching, and now we come to seated or reclined to allow ourselves to enjoy the fruits of our practice here in Shavasana, in this meditative place. Today's reading is Spread Your Wings and Fly. Many of us have been pushed out of the nest. Something unexpected happened. Maybe our world changed. We may have fought valiantly to get back in the nest, to return to the safety of life as we knew it. But sometimes life pushes us out, and we have no choice but to flap our wings and learn to fly the best we could. And so, yogis, when change happens, we sometimes cling back to the past, even though we know it's not for us. And it's not until we flap our wings and fly that we realize we have the strength and the courage to move on to the next thing. See how magical this time has been. See how much you've learned. With all your fears and resistance, it has still been a grand and powerful time. Maybe you flailed around a bit, wondering who to trust. And finally you understood. The lesson is in trusting yourself. Learning to listen to your inner voice. Learning to open your heart. Open up to your own healing powers, your own creative powers. Know that nothing is beyond reach. Your instincts and intuition are finely tuned. Your inner voice is clear if you find the time to open up to listen. When life pokes and prods us, it's not punishment. Getting pushed out of the nest forces us to spread our wings and take flight, and shows us how well we can fly. So yogis, stay if you'd like, or leave if you'd like. Until we meet again, namaste.
Thank you, Amy. Namaste.
Namaste.